Hi, Deon.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So this is the second season finale of Force you've done. What did you find most surprising during this season compared to the first season, especially in concerns with the finale?
Um, the finales are always the most stuff to do. You know what I mean? So last year was like really hard for me because it was like we were like running and gunning. They were still kind of still writing the story a little bit when I jumped in. And thanks to me being like a real independent filmmaker, I was able to kind of dive in and make notes and move on the fly. This year was really cool because Gary and the team, they did such a great job writing it. It allowed me to just focus on shooting and direction and acting and making sure storylines coincide the right way. So it was just great, man. It was fun. It was a lot to do. I don't know how many locations we shot at in a couple of days, but it was crazy. And then being able to go and do, that giant 100-year-old theater was even more like, what? Like it's freezing cold, you know what I mean? So that was great, but they're always fantastic, man. I was just telling somebody earlier we come from a place where the finale means it has to be the finale. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Some people forget what a finale means. You know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah, it's the finale, it's the last episode. Like, no, the finale means shit got to go down. You know what I mean? And things got to blow up, and people got to get killed. And I love that. I love that power keeps the essence of that. You know what I mean? Because that's old school TV, and I'm a fan of that. So I think they've all done a great job. 50, Gary, Mark Canton, Joe is just Joe is Joe. He's phenomenal, and this character he has brought to life, Tommy, has been pivotal in so many ways to making this show. He's the linchpin to this entire brand, and just to keep seeing him do it over and over again and show up in these finales the way he does, I just love it.
What was it like to direct him in this, in a role that he's been doing for years at this point, compared to when you directed him in Fear, and that was just kind of a canon one experience with that character?
Yeah, he's a fantastic artist and he's a fantastic actor, and he takes Tommy really serious. And a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into each and every script that they're doing for Power. Joe is literally reading these scripts backwards and forwards, trying to figure out would Tommy do this, would Tommy not do that, who's he gonna cancel Christmas on? You know what I mean? It's like he just has this whole thing. So when you show up, it is work in terms of like getting there and knowing like, okay, we got to really dive into the acting. I got to understand what he's thinking, and I have to be on the same page with him. And so does every filmmaker that comes to do Power. You know what I mean? So I think he's phenomenal. Yeah, Fear. I mean, we had a blast. We shot that during the pandemic, and he showed up for that and created this character with me, which I thought was so much different than what anyone had ever seen him do. But then he was also completely different in The Intruder. When he played opposite, Megan Good and Michael Ealy and Dennis Quaid. So Joe is special, man, and he's someone that I love doing projects with, and hopefully right after this we'll be doing something again very soon.
Ooh, that sounds good. Speaking
Yeah.
of what Tommy is thinking, in the episode, Kate almost ODs and he just stares at her. And he's also the one that gave her the drugs, but he did seem a bit surprised that she took all of those at once. Do you think he purposely was trying to kill her? What do you think Tommy was thinking in that moment when she is ODing?
That scene was so crazy. Um, that's a love-hate relationship. And a lot of the formalities of Power, a lot of the things that are inside these scripts are actually at times, maybe not as aloof but a lot of these things are real things that people are dealing with. And I just thought that was such a powerful scene based on the fact that he has this love-hate relationship with his mother. You know, she has been an addict his whole life. He's raised himself, become this man. So I'm sitting there looking at him on the scene. I'm going like, all right, well, what is he thinking? Probably half of him is going, okay, I want that lady to go away forever because it's always been painful. And then another half of him is saying, I want her to live because that's my mother. And I just thought it's a very cool scene because he got caught right in the vortex of those two lives. And just a very powerful scene where he froze up.
Yeah.
So to me, it wasn't if she's going to live or die. I think it was both sides of him debating what should he do.
Yeah. Now another powerful scene with that family, which I felt added so much texture this season, kind of the dynamics of Tommy having this biological family and how much he could actually dedicate himself to it. But when D-Mac comes back and has that confrontation with his dad and Kate and pulls out a gun on him, calls him the F word, just a very brutal scene. How was it like to shoot that? Because I would assume the actors don't have this level of animosity with each other.
No, they had to get there. And you know, what a fantastic young actor. To be able to find a scene like that and actually be able to look, everybody thinks a scene is like you just come out and when you're mad, you just start screaming. Right? Like that's not God damn it, I'm gonna kill everybody. And you'd be like, no, that's not what they're doing really well, man, is they're finding realism inside of these moments. That's a powerful scene where he, you know, pulls the gun on his family and he's, you know, has all these derogatory things to say to his father. And it's like, and again, I'm going back to that point of, man, these are real things that happen in real life, you know? So how would that feel? How does that escalate? I think all of them get along, but when I come on set, I know the one thing I'm doing is I'm trying to find truth with the actors. I'm trying to push them to think through how you would do this versus just what's on the page. And them being phenomenal already, that's why they're there. It's a great game of chess that we get to play, and they do really, really well every time.
Yes. Speaking of, it's not as heated animosity, but I feel like Tommy and Diamond have kind of been at odds all season in the sense that they work together, but at least to me, I feel like Tommy doesn't want to be second in command again like he was with Ghost. But he's not seeing this as a partnership as Diamond is kind of seeing it, and he's starting to see that Tommy doesn't tell him everything. Why do you think they're good partners? Do you think they could become good partners? Do you think this is going to fall apart?
I think it's too many trust issues. You know, I think it's like, you know, that's the show is so great that way. Like, it's like if you're in a relationship with someone and, you know, she cheats on you or you cheat on her, and then you go to another relationship, you're not so quick to love. You know, you're not so quick to trust again. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's kind of cool about the two of them is they've both been burned in some type of way somewhere in their life. And where I believe Diamond is more like, man, let's try it. I think Tommy's more like, nah. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I've been down this road before. You know what I mean? So it's really cool to see them do that, but then at the same time to see that they're actually really fucking cool together. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you kind of want it, but then remember, Diamond is also dealing with his brother. You know, so that's what they used to have as well. So it's a good, complicated, good piece of drama for television.
Yeah, the show is obviously very dramatic, but a very funny part to me, and it was probably my favorite scene in the finale, is when Jannard and Diamond are walking to their cars, and Diamond's like, "Oh, that's your car." He has to just kind of defend himself, and it's a friendly reminder of, oh, he was an addict and like had to sell everything a couple episodes ago, and then that circling back when he got the Lambo was great. But as a director,
yeah,
I loved it. You only have so much time per episode. Was there a deleted or extended scene that you wish had gotten in as well?
There was more to that scene. There was more to that scene, and we had to cut that. But yeah, I love that scene because I just thought it was so ironic and so funny. Then when he gets in there, I'm like, yo, yeah, this is, But I had him get in the car and drive off everything because I'm like, yo, this is what. But yeah, there was more to that one. I thought that was great, and there was more to him getting the Lambo back, which I thought was really cool. But unfortunately, time gets cut, and you got to be like, all right, we got to save things here and there. But those are two of my favorite scenes as well.
Yes, it definitely kind of just summed up where Gennard is in this season as, because his clothes has changed because he had to sell everything. It was just like, oh, hey, you weren't in a great place, and we all know.
Right, right. You were addicted to dope. That's exactly right. That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking to me about this. I would love to talk to you about future projects, especially that one you have with Joseph, and I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. What a great interview. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. You have a good one. Bye.